first, right off the bat. Alright, so bear with me. I'm going to try to keep this really short because this is, to be honest, about the 60th time I have done this, and something just constantly keeps interrupting, whether it's people driving by, walking by, staring at me, suddenly interrupting, bugs biting me, the wind that will not just stop. It's coming literally from every direction. No matter where I set the camera, it shakes it. And so you're just going to have to deal with it. It's free entertainment for you, so you get what you get. We are in Aberdeen, South Dakota. I know, there's a second Aberdeen. Believe it or not, somebody else named a town Aberdeen, and it is in South Dakota. Eat your heart out, Kurt Cobain. It is very different than Aberdeen, Washington. This is the third largest city in South Dakota, and it is not for us. We realize that we like South Dakota as a state, but we love the Black Hills. That's where we really like South Dakota. So this will do for now, but we're not going to set up shop here, plain and simple. You know, it was mainly there was a big enough Chevy dealer here to do some of the work on the truck that we needed done, but come to find out they just couldn't pull it off. They were able to change our oil and our fuel filter, which was desperately needed, but they could not replicate the noise in the front end while steering, which was ironic enough because the second I picked up the truck, I was able to replicate the sound right there in front of them, but of course it was too late in the day for them to do anything about it, and I'm getting super annoyed now. It's about the 5th time that jerk's driven by in that truck and he just stares at me in the camera. Anyways, I was able to replicate the noise right away when I went and picked up the truck, but it was too late in the end of the day, and when I kind of chose them on it, they said, well, our diesel mechanic's not even here. And I said, well, that's funny because I made this appointment weeks ago, and you knew that you needed your diesel mechanic here, you knew that you had problems with this truck, and you just decided not to deal with it because you knew that we were traveling, passing through, and what are we going to do about it? So I'm really not impressed. We also, when we were unhooking the trailer while we were getting here, we realized that there was a bend in the bed. It's kind of tweaked at the very back end. Showed that to the dealership, and they said, well, yeah, we had our body shop look at it, but they don't know why I did that, so good luck. So well, I guess we'll be having to contact Chevy itself and see what's going on with this truck, because I'm just super not impressed anymore. So we made it to Montana after we left the Black Hills. We went to Billings, Montana. It was a big city. It was what it was. That's not where we're going to set up. We met some amazing people there that were actually really trying to get us to stay. But, you know, that's not where we're going to set up. Montana is amazing. We love it there. But that's not where we're going to be right now. So we really didn't do much there. We went and saw Custer's Last Stand, which well worth it. It's out in the middle of nowhere, but it's very worth it. Especially to see the conclusion and come full circle with the whole Custer crazy horse that we started in the Black Hills there. Definitely, if you're out there, go see it. Especially when you learn the story, you realize that it really just didn't need to happen there. It didn't need to happen, period. But you know, that's the reality when you really start learning history of our country. There's some not so good parts to it, unfortunately. Not everything is sunshine and rainbows. So we packed up from there and we went to Dickinson, North Dakota. We were about 30 minutes outside of it in a really, really small town. And again, we really didn't do much. We kind of relaxed and enjoyed our family and the time that we had together. And we did get to go to another dinosaur museum while we were there, because why not? Again, the kids are just super into dinosaurs, and you know, it was pretty cool. There was this little kid. Are you kidding me? This guy's gonna drive by again. This is the 6th time this guy has driven by, and he just stares at me like I'm an idiot. You know, I think that's the thing I've learned the most that just amazes me is you pull out a camera and everybody just suddenly wants to be in the shot, make some noise, and just be in the way. It's the silliest thing. While we were in the dinosaur museum in North Dakota, in Dickinson, this little boy came up to me and he goes, "Is that a YouTube camera?" I said, "Yeah, yes it is." Yeah. He goes, "Are you like a real YouTuber?" I said, yeah, we are real YouTubers. And he goes, "Wow." And then he proceeded to stare at us and the camera the rest of the time that we were in there. And you know, a little interesting there. You know, he was more interested in us than the dinosaurs at that point. So I put him in the video there. So kid, if you're watching, thank you. I'm sorry you're going to be very underwhelmed with who we are and what we're doing here. But look at this way. You made it on YouTube. You're a real YouTuber now too. So there you go. After this, we are going to be packing up and heading to Nebraska. That's another just kind of pass through, heading down to Missouri to see some family there and kind of regroup and recalibrate and figure out where we're going to go from there and what we're going to do. So for that, I have no further information for you as to where we're going to be after Missouri or how long we're even going to be in Missouri. Definitely not as long as we were in California. That's 100% for sure. As you can see, I'm constantly moving and swatting things away. I'm genuinely trying to move away from doing so much body movement while I'm talking, but the flies here are so aggressive and they bite really hard and they hurt really bad. So if you sit still for too long, they land on you and then they start biting you. And so that's why I'm moving so much around right now. So I genuinely am frustrated that I have to say this, but this is just something that kind of has to be said. And I think the more people that get on board with it and make it the normality, I think that's the only way that it's gonna happen. And that's when you're at a national park or a national monument or anything like that. You're absolutely right. As an American citizen, that is part of your property. That is what your taxpayer dollars go to. It is your right to go see it and be there and experience the whole thing. With that being said, it's not the you show. We're all there with our families trying to experience the same bit of history and the same thing and learn something. So don't jump in front of other people and families. If there's a line, respect the line, wait in line. It's absolutely ridiculous that here I am at 34 having to tell other grown adults that you know, there's a line here. Please respect the rest of our time and energy that we've put into this to be here and do this politely. We don't need you jumping in and cutting lines. Your time isn't more important than mine or my family's or the other families around us. Also, be respectful with what you're saying and what you're doing. You know, I've overheard quite a few conversations that people are having that are just completely ridiculous to be having at a national park. Again, you know, there's other families there on vacation trying to enjoy their time together, and you are just ruining it for everybody else. Also, when you see someone with a camera, don't jump in front of it. Don't stick your big dumb face into it and make a smile or stick your tongue out or do anything silly like that. It's not cute, it's not funny. It's absolutely obnoxious. It absolutely ruins someone's experience being at some of these national parks when people are doing that crap like that. We'll keep you posted on where we're going and where we end up and what we're doing. We just realized that the constant go was too much. It was wearing the kids out, it was wearing Christy out, and it was definitely wearing me out. You know, Christy was an absolute trooper the other day. She drove for the first time. She had never really driven a trailer, let alone something this big. With a truck that big, but she just hopped in and went, and she did absolutely fine. So that helped a lot with myself. So just for the sake of wrapping this video up, because this wind is never going to stop at this point. It's just going to get worse, and probably try to blow the camera over. So I'm going to hold it really quick here. We just need to slow down a little bit. We kind of burned ourselves out a little bit, going too fast and too hard, and we realized that, and we're needing to slow down and enjoy the time with our family and actually get to know a place and see a place. You know, spending 2 or 3 days there is not going to tell you anything about a place other than it's pretty, you know. We've even talked about we may need to go back to the Black Hills for the winter and spend the winter there, or part of the winter there, to see the place in a different way. You know, right now South Dakota is going through a drought. That's what everybody's saying. This is the driest summer they have ever seen, and I get it. Yeah, it's pretty dry out here. So let's see it in the winter when it rains and snows a little bit more. But again, everybody that we talk to keeps saying, you know, the Black Hills, they really don't get that much snow. When it does, you know, it melts same day if not the next day, which that's fine by me. But they don't get that much rain, but they do get more rain than the eastern side of the state here. So we'll have to see where it goes from there. So we'll keep you posted, and until next time, thanks for watching.